Welcome back, everybody, to episode 7, recap, review, Easter eggs, references, big red circles, hot stuff.
Big arrows?
Big arrows.
Yeah.
I've peeled back a little bit on that in the thumbnails. I don't know if you've noticed.
Because you pioneered it.
I know I did not.
No, you pioneered it and then everybody else stole it.
I think I stole it from somebody else and then everybody else stole it.
Okay, someone else pioneered it and you perfected it. By perfected, I mean you overused it. So everybody hates it now. You ever see a Twitter thread and it's like, what are the YouTube video trends you hate the most? And people are like, big red arrows, big text, big eyes, reaction photos. Well, I still love them all.
Me too. Just want to reiterate, as always, there's going to be spoilers for this episode and all the episodes prior, as well as things theorizing for things that might come up in the show. We haven't looked at any of the supposed leaks that have been happening, or as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen any of those.
So if we hit upon something that has been leaked or is soon to be leaked after the release of this video, we called it.
That's right, we called it.
We
and you're welcome.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Yeah, so if you could leave a like, that'd be great. And thank you also for watching these videos. People really seem to be into them. They do really well. The audio-only version of this, Collings actually puts this together somehow over a really incredible amount of time.
Thus far.
We'll see how this one goes, won't we? But so the audio-only version goes up at bigsandwich.co if you do want to check these out early every week.
Almost instantaneously.
It is almost instantaneously. So also, just quick shout out to Marvel Australia, who sent us a special Valentine's Day gift. What was it, Mason? Well, here's some footage, some vertical camera footage. I didn't think that through, did I?
Oh my god!
I'm a monster.
You're an alleged professional.
Well, I was thinking about for the gram. You know what I mean?
Good point. Yeah.
So anyway, thank you.
That's why you kept screaming, "Do it for the gram!"
So big chocolate heart filled with some various candies, roses. A beautiful card, handcrafted,
and we're gonna do a mukbang video. We're gonna eat all those candies, and we're gonna shrug it off with our youthful metabolism.
We ate a bunch, and we don't feel good.
Feel bad,
but it was good candy.
Yeah, but we're old.
That's right. So thank you for sending that out. We really appreciate it. So here we go, Mason. Episode 7. Oh, wait. I meant to say episode 6. This is an edit from later in the video, but I'll put it back in.
We're in the Malcolm in the Middle era.
We certainly are.
Handheld camera work.
Yep.
The cast members talking to an invisible audience.
Yep. We'll jump all over the place. But so a big part of this episode is the Vision ventures out into the town on Halloween, which is now filled with children, suspiciously.
Even though prior to this, there were 2 children, Vision and Wanda's children, and prior to that, no children at all in this world.
And it was only when it was mentioned that there are no other children that somebody has gone, well, we better populate this town with potentially stolen children.
Right, or
completely fictional, made-up children. I mean, they're all fictional, isn't it, Mason?
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying. Do you?
Well, I do. Here's a side note to this side note. They are fictional. At one point, Evan Peters, the current Quicksilver in this universe, says that he and the kids are going to have a kick-ass time, and Wanda says, "Kick-ass."
That's right.
Which might just be a little nod for comic book movie fans.
Yes,
but it also might be a nod to the fact that she knows that her original Quicksilver is played by the actor who played Kick-Ass in the movie Kick-Ass, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, that's right.
So
strange.
Aaron
Taylor Johnson played Kick-Ass, who's Quicksilver. He played Kick-Ass's friend and also played Quicksilver. Yeah. I just needed to get that right in my head.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyway, Agnes. So as he's moving on the outside of town, as we kind of speculated last week, the people kind of don't really work out there. Do you know what I mean? Because whoever's controlling the town, their reach doesn't necessarily need to extend that far.
Yeah, but I wondered perhaps if it's assumed that Vision and Wanda are mostly moving around the town together.
Yeah, right.
Except when maybe Vision goes to work. So maybe the people on the outskirts of town only work when Wanda is also there. Like maybe if they went for a walk around the town, they would all operate normally.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if she isn't there because he's wandering out on his own without her permission, essentially, they just don't function. Maybe
it's the further he gets from her, or the further maybe the magic is centered around her specifically.
Yeah.
So if she's not near it, then it's not happening. That may have been what you just said.
Correct.
Great. Do you think though Agnes is the bad guy?
It seems in this one she isn't. I mean, it might be an elaborate double bluff, but it seems to me that
because she's in the trance that everyone else is, but she could still communicate with him in the way that none of the others could. One is silently crying.
That's true.
Just being tortured with
Okay, so what's
mind.
your theory then if you think she might still be a bad guy?
Well, why was she out there for one?
Trying to escape?
Maybe. But why, like, knee him, I mean.
Ah, okay.
And the other thing is, she also knows who he is, that being an Avenger.
One of the Avengers, yeah.
We established last week that he doesn't know who he was prior to these events. She's also dressed like a witch, and the character we mentioned, Agatha Harkness, which she may be from the comics, is also a witch. And you mentioned that, actually we got this comment as well from Kyle Osterman, who says, Agnes's butt says naughty in the opening, am I reaching? So do you think that's...
Not for that butt, young man.
I hope not. But so what do you think though?
Look, maybe it's certainly, it could be possible that the reason that she seems to have a little bit more control in this universe is she might be metahuman like Scarlet Witch and Vision. But it seems to me, based on what happened to her when Vision encounters her in the car, she is under Scarlet Witch's control until he activates her, at which point she remembers life outside of Westview, where she knows that he's an Avenger, and she remembers perhaps a news report where it turned out he died.
Right.
Which is why she knows those things.
Do you think, though, she could be putting that whole thing on, just as a way to prompt him to
maybe, but
go
why
further?
would she inform him that he's dead?
Because maybe she just wants to see what he'll do. Maybe she's building towards another goal. James F. made the comment that the Agnes thing is a complete diversion for both Vision and us. It doesn't answer how or why Agnes has the doghouse or could quiet the kids when they were babies. So,
right.
I don't know. It's still up in the air at this point, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, well, until more information comes to light, I'm going to say she's not in on it, but she is a metahuman. That's my best guess.
I think she's a straight-up magic person, like Strange in a way. Yeah. Okay. None of this, like, magic, but you're an alien nonsense that Thor brings to the table.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what I think's going on. So do you notice also with Vision that you would have noticed this because it was a major plot point. They are tracking.
I was watching the episode.
That's right, you were watching it. But
I was watching it specifically to notice things that we'd put in a YouTube video later.
Correct.
So look, even if you say this thing, whatever it is, and I didn't notice it, I'm going to say I did notice it.
Yeah.
Which is a perfect opportunity for you to make something up. Because it'll make me look like a fool.
Yeah, but I can't now because you've asked me to do it, haven't you?
Yeah.
But this is a real thing from the show. Not real. This is fictional. It's all fictional.
Yeah.
Hayward is tracking Vision. Or that what's he made of? Vibranium. So this, again, builds off last week's episode where they did something to him, like they disassembled him. Maybe they were trying to put him back together to recreate some kind of synthezoid situation.
Or take him apart to build weapons from his technology et cetera. Yeah.
He's referred to as the asset, so he's an acquisition of theirs that they're doing all sorts of stuff with. And we didn't
Bitcoin.
Like a Bitcoin. We also didn't mention this last week, but
Stonks.
That
he's more like a Dogecoin.
I guess he is, isn't he, at this point?
Yeah.
But yeah, so she would have, awakened from the snap 5 years later, and they would have had those 5 years to kind of tinker with him in that point. So who knows what the kind of results of that could have been.
Yeah.
Maybe like a lot of that technology that they have is, partially at least built off what they've
could be, yeah. I'm astounded that when he escaped the perimeter of Westview, that he didn't immediately. I expect him to emerge and immediately die.
Yeah,
and appear as he did at the end of Infinity War with a piece of his head missing. But he didn't.
No. Do you think, though, that's where it was going because the bits are flying off him and maybe it was...
Yeah, and so she was forced to extend the illusion, the reality, so he would stay alive.
So he's just going to, like we saw a few weeks ago, he's going to have that ding in his head. He's the grey Vision, potentially. And maybe it is that, he's being held together partially, what's left of him, and then, again, she's kind of filling in the blanks.
Yeah.
And, you do get the sense that he can't exist outside of this world that she's created or whoever's created it.
Yeah.
And
because even when he came out, he was mostly he was still attached via his cape.
Yes. And what does that mean also for the end of the series when presumably all this collapses in on itself?
Yeah.
Is he going to be back for good, or is it just when the town kind of disappears, he goes with it?
Yeah. Side note, do you think Paul Bettany enjoyed not having to put on any real Vision makeup for most of this episode? He's just just spray some red on my face.
That still seems like a nightmare, though.
Yeah, probably.
Not as much, but no good. I'm not a fan. Yeah. So do you think, though, they just want him dead at this point? They just want to reacquire him? Because nobody was rushing in to kind of help him.
Yeah, I would guess that they want the pieces of him more than they want.
Whatever he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say they're assuming at this point that he's just an animated corpse.
Yeah.
And so they're not going to get a living vision out of this.
No.
So,
but he's clearly more than that, though, because it's at this point where he's starting to make his own decisions.
Yeah.
And, when he says that, like, I'm going for a walk around town with Neighborhood Watch, she's kind of surprised by that's a thing that he's chosen to do.
Yeah, right.
Because I guess pretty much up until last week, he's just doing the things that she's kind of put in place for him.
Yeah.
This episode also heavily hinted that Wanda does know exactly what she's doing. She doesn't know how it all started, but she's freezing people, expanding the barrier. Like, it is mostly her.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, and was that the case in prior episodes and we just weren't shown that? Or was it a case of her reality and fiction are sort of coming apart a little bit and she's more willing to use her powers in public?
Yeah, right.
That being said, this Quicksilver also has very quickly cottoned on to what is happening, or he's known all along, because at one point he does say, you've just, you've added these kids and you've given these adults better jobs and you've kept the couples together and etc.
Yeah.
Evan Peters, that being said, is he fits in so perfectly in this episode as like an Ace Ventura era Jim Carrey kind of.
It reminds me of, like, speaking of Malcolm in the Middle, Malcolm's older brother Francis, that kind of like vibe. And he's even got like a skater belt from the early 2000s. But you mentioned last week that I was like, oh, they skipped the 90s, but they didn't really, because
Mr. Sheffield was
Mr.
in
Sheffield.
It. He was at the door at the end of the previous episode with that beautiful silver fox hair.
He looks so good.
Miss Maximoff, he said.
That's what he said.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
But
way more popular in Australia
yeah,
than America.
Yeah, for some reason. It played every day.
Everyone in Australia's seen every episode of The Nanny.
But so they skipped the 90s because last week it was your Full House and your Roseannes and I guess your Home Improvements, which went into the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But in skipping, I feel though that you've also skipped major sitcoms from the 90s, like your Friends and Dinosaurs and Seinfeld and Blossom. Like this. But I guess, how do you do Friends in a family
How do you
environment?
do dinosaurs in a world without any dinosaurs?
It's a great question.
Easy, add dinosaurs.
Just chuck a dinosaur in. But yeah, you couldn't do
Add devil dinosaur.
Add devil dinosaur, but with kids you couldn't do Seinfeld or Friends, really, could you?
No.
So I get why they've
Speaking of kids, the Wanda and Vision's kids have sort of come into their own powers. So in the Marvel universe, they're Speed and Wiccan. Each one has inherited some of the Maximoff genes and has got super speed and various magic abilities.
Also, the trail effect on the speedster characters are more like the Quicksilver from the MCU than other Quicksilver.
I see.
Yeah. Is that a hint or a clue? Everything is or isn't.
Or maybe that one was just loaded into After Effects when they were making the
maybe it was
in post-production. It was just easier.
Yeah. So do you still think they're real kids? I think they are.
Look, I think they're more real than the rest of the world around them. Like, I think that whereas most of the stuff in this universe is regular people who have had a sheen added to them and, houses and stuff that have had their molecules rearranged to
Yeah.
I think they're probably like in the MCU for a long time. I think they were made of magical fragments of the devil, Mephisto, something like that.
Yeah. Well, there was a comment that was like, Quicksilver makes it. He says, I actually wrote it down.
Oh.
It was,
your kids are made from the devil. They're made from devil magic.
demon spawn. He calls them demon spawn.
Right.
So does that hint towards like a Mephisto or someone like that? Because that's,
But I wonder, do you think this show will do a reveal of a character that we've never seen before and that's never been alluded to?
Yeah, right.
I wonder if... Yeah, I wonder... See, I guess what you either have to do is you have to reveal that the villain is a character we've been watching this whole time.
Yes.
And don't know it yet.
Spawn of Satan, he said.
Spawn of Satan, there you go. It has to be someone we either know already from the show, like maybe Agnes is pulling the strings,
sure,
or it's a character that was alluded to in one of the other movies. Because if you just go, it's Mephisto, we've never talked about devil stuff before, but it's the devil.
Mandarin.
And you'll never see me coming.
It's the Mandarin. He's back.
Yes, Ben Kingsley Mandarin.
And Jude Law working together.
Oh, my God. As the young Pope?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
The devil and the Pope working together at long last. It's one of the signs of the apocalypse, I think.
I think, though, there's also enough episodes where if they revealed enough hints of it, say like next week, you could easily kind of cover that in. What are we up to? Well, there's 2 left, isn't there?
Yes.
And maybe a secret episode.
Wait, 9?
There's
3
9.
left.
Oh, wait.
This is episode 6.
Okay, yeah. Well, did I say 7 up top?
Yeah.
Did I really?
No, I don't know. I can't remember.
Great.
James, I'm not a details guy,
Collins,
right?
edit this in. I meant to say episode 6. This is an edit from later in the video, but I'll put it back in.
There you go. Problem solved.
What do you think of the costumes, the throwback costumes? The way that they wave them away is she's a...
Sokovian fortune teller, yes.
Oh, that's right, sorry. And he's a wrestler. He's a Mexican
wrestler, yes, right.
Yeah.
I thought he might also be some sort of traditional Sokovian thing, but then he's just like, nah, wrestler.
Yeah.
Why
You ever
not?
seen Nacho Libre? I'm that.
I'm
sort
Jack
of, I
Black,
guess.
all right?
It's the early 2000s. Maybe that movie's out as of so far. But I guess also that movie would be out in this reality. And there's something that a few people picked up on and sent in as well.
Go on.
In terms of like the time period this episode was set in.
Uh-huh.
So the cinemas were playing...
The Incredibles?
Incredibles and The Parent Trap.
Uh-huh.
Incredibles came out in 2004, I want to say.
Okay.
So Into the West Comics on Twitter mentioned that this could be a nod to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, we still haven't seen. One thing I really expected to see in this was who Monica Rambeau's aerospace engineer friend was, who was going to help him out of this
Yes.
jam, who we're going to meet in an hour, but we didn't get to.
Yeah.
Some people are still saying it's going to be Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe it isn't.
Maybe it's not.
Depending on where the translation's from, it refers to he or she. So
Yeah,
we don't
right,
really...
uh-huh.
And they say guy in this, but which again is kind of like gender
Yeah.
neutral at this point.
When we say, hey guys, remember to like and subscribe,
we
all
mean,
genders.
we mean everybody everywhere who's ever
Yeah,
lived.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what we mean, isn't it? I want to talk more about Quicksilver, though.
Go on.
So, first of all, Jack Schaefer mentioned, she's the series showrunner on this. She said, we were rooting for it for so long to make this happen, and we didn't know if it was possible. It was complicated to make it happen, and Evan was always up for it, like always.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really give any hints away, but it does seem like this is something that they really wanted to tackle like very early on.
Uh-huh.
But I do wonder, though, is he like an illusion? Is he someone else, like a Mephisto, like playing, like pretend?
At one point in this episode, she asked where he came from, I think.
Yeah.
And he says that he got shot in the streets.
Yes.
And then he woke up here. But did he get shot in the streets in his last X-Men movie? Because he rescued everybody.
He got maybe Jean Grey got him
Huh.
when he was running about.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Right.
He's also in Deadpool 2. That was the last time we saw him in the X-Men universe.
Ah.
But also that was the modern day and they were the younger X-Men. Like it didn't
Yeah.
actually make any sense.
Well, we don't know how far this is going to go. We're assuming this is based on, various comic book storylines of the past.
Yes.
But this could go in any number of directions. And I'm thinking that it is possible. I'm saying it's unlikely, but it is possible that they will go full meta on this show.
Yeah.
And she will be one, and Scarlet Witch will be one of the people who becomes aware that they are not real.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
Because if she knows the Kick-Ass reference, she becomes aware that they're from different fictional realities.
Yeah, absolutely. See, what the impression that I got was that he's not the X-Men version, and he's got some of the memories, or at least some of the understanding of what happened to the MCU version, but I think he might not be either. I think he might be something else. There was a comic book resources theory this week, which they probably took from Reddit, which is he might have been sent by Doctor Strange to help. Because that apparently also happened at one point in the comics. Doctor Strange sent Pietro to help Wanda do something at some point.
Okay, sure.
I couldn't tell you
The
for
dishes.
$1 million. Yeah,
The dishes.
the dishes, exactly.
Really fast.
Yeah, so, and like if he himself can't get in there or he's busy doing other things or whatever, then, and I think there's also a very good chance that he's going to show up anyway because she's going to show up in his movie. So I think we're probably going to get a Benedict Cumberbatch cameo. But yeah, I do wonder whether he pulled him from that X-Men dimension, sent him in, and then whatever's happening inside the dome is kind of like altering his memory of what happened.
Because again, we don't know what happens when you travel the multiverse in the MCU. So maybe your memories get scrambled. Maybe you pick up memories from your alternate reality counterparts.
And we also know that if once you get in the dome, your whole head is kind of turned upside down.
Yeah.
You might get magic powers, which is happening to
Monica Rambeau.
To Monica Rambeau, it seems.
Yeah. Is that because does that happen to would that happen to anyone who goes back and forth through this bubble, or is it only happening to her because she's been exposed to Captain Marvel?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Because
but nobody else is really going back and forth. Though we saw the cops in the first episode. It wasn't the first episode, but the first episode outside of the dome. Mm-hmm. They're able to leave the town.
Ah.
So yeah, I'm not really sure at this point. But I think, however he got in there, like he has a better understanding of what's going on than other people, but there's obviously something else going on there that we're not seeing. Also, she very happily just kind of like shot him with a red blast or whatever at one point. So, yeah. She knows it's not him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She seems to be unsure for some of this episode, but then she seems to figure it out by the end, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What about this? This is from Jake Harris. Why does he look like X-Men Quicksilver is now the farthest question from my mind about Pietro right now. The things he said in this episode are so bizarre. So do you think that is that?
Give me an example. What did he say that was weird?
Where he's talking about their parents and their past and how he was shot and all the things that we mentioned.
Oh, all the things that we mentioned.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just a real oddball.
Could just be a real odd duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's emerged from the butt of a rhinoceros.
Very good.
How about this?
I'm ready for things.
The barrier expanded.
Yeah.
And it caught Dr. Darcy Lewis.
Yes.
Is she going to turn into a character from Two Broke Girls?
Do you think so?
Maybe.
I've never seen that show, but I would love to see that.
Just
I
a
guess.
yellow waitress outfit.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, maybe.
It's entirely possible. What I didn't realize until I was reading about it this week is we haven't seen her since Thor: The Dark World. It's been like how many? It's been like
that's why
8
she's got a
years at this
doctorate
point.
now.
Yeah, I know. I think it's just been that long.
Yeah.
It just does. Time flies. Do you know what I mean? When they
Yeah.
make a million Marvel movies.
It sure does.
Yeah, and it's interesting that all the people who are from S.W.O.R.D. are turned into clowns and the circus, which might be a reflection on how she views them as an organization. Very cutting.
Yes.
Yeah. What else I got here?
Also, special shout-outs to Monica Rambeau and Jimmy Woo as the new kind of cool crime-fighting duo, mystery-solving duo.
Well, I was gonna-
I mean, they're a trio, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I was going to bring this up.
But Monica and Woo work well together as kind of like they've very quickly developed an unspoken bond of
let's beat some people
Let's beat some people up. We know what to do here, and it's beat people up. So, and people have thrown around the idea of they should be solving like X-Files. Give them a show where they solve X-Files style mysteries every week. I would watch that.
Well, this started from Stephen Ford on Twitter. Very nice guy. He said, hear me out, an entire Disney Plus show about Jimmy Woo working weird case in the MCU, like a fun X-Files, make it happen. And off the back of that, he sent in like a pitch to Marvel. There's been multiple articles. Boss Logic did some like beautiful artwork of a fan poster. So yeah, this has got a lot of traction to make like an Agents of Atlas show. And apparently he's not in the next Ant-Man movie. But I can see this being one of the things, the same with what happened with Coulson, where there's enough kind of goodwill behind this character and momentum that I think this is entirely possible that this is going to happen at some point.
Well, I would say all three.
Yeah.
Bring them all three as a trio. I think it would be a lot
just
of fun.
let them beat people up.
Yeah,
just
right?
Give a nod.
Yeah.
A look, just a look
Yeah.
even.
But I would like one of them to turn into a Scully-style skeptic who doesn't believe anything, even though they've all seen this. They'd be like, aliens, I don't believe in that. They invaded New York. It was on the news.
One of the people in our team is an alien, probably. Yeah. What do you think about the rumor that, or the theory that Haywood is a Skrull, and that's going to lead into Secret Invasion?
Oh,
do you think it matters who he is?
Not really.
I think he's just done some shady stuff.
Yeah, I think he's just a shady sword bureaucrat.
Yeah.
I think I said last week he's a useful idiot. I mean, he's clearly got ulterior motives in terms of he wants the Vision for a weapon, or he wants this reality-changing power as a weapon. He just wants this stuff.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
He's no different to anybody else remember when S.H.I.E.L.D. wanted all the Infinity Stone stuff, so they wanted the Scepter so they could make weapons. It's no different from
one
that,
of those
really.
guys. Speaking of, there was...
also Jimmy Woo did that trick for real. He said,
it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it. You practiced? My brother can do it, the one you don't like.
Oh, yeah.
He's done it. You want to see him do it?
No.
I'll get him to... I'll show you the video.
I saw Jimmy Woo do it. He's famous. He's a famous character.
He is, isn't he?
Randall Park, there we go.
You mentioned that the Infinity Stone. There was a promo this week where we see the Vision's Infinity Stone as something that we end up seeing in a future episode.
Oh, I see.
Do you think she's grabbed one from another reality? Do you think it's like a fake facade? Do you think we are going to see it again?
I mean, that could be, rampant speculation time, as if most of the rest of this episode hasn't been rampant speculation.
Sure.
Maybe what's happened here is she doesn't remember what happened. She was the one who saw Thanos reverse time so he could prevent the Vision from being killed, so he could kill him.
Yeah.
So maybe she's like, well, if he can go back through time, I can go back through time. And she attempted some sort of time reality-based trick
Yeah.
to bring him back or find a reality stone, and that's bent reality in a way that she wasn't expecting. So maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
You know, so there are some Marvel comic book storylines in which various important characters each have taken charge of a reality stone. They don't use it necessarily, but they have it.
They look after them.
They look after him. They put
Yeah.
a little box.
Like when they give you a little eggie for school to look after like a baby or whatever.
Precisely.
It's
yes.
exactly like a baby.
Yeah. So maybe Vision is gonna, he's gonna get to keep one of the reality stones and stay alive.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Be nice.
What a dream for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did you make of the commercial?
I didn't know what it was referencing this week.
Right.
So, I'm sure somebody does.
Well, Joseph Sawyer's made the comment that the commercial could refer to Wanda and Pietro waiting for the Stark missile to go off, the
okay.
food of survivors. The other thing is it says Yo Magic on the yogurt. So the way I took it as is maybe without the magic, Vision dies.
So the magic is a spoon.
I don't really
to
know.
open the container.
Yeah, this was the most ambiguous one we've seen as of yet. Yeah, so I don't.
But the raddest, certainly.
Yeah, it reminds me of those Yo Gorilla ads.
Yeah.
Like from the 90s where they'd replicate speed or whatever.
Uh-huh.
You remember those?
I don't think Americans had Yogo.
Didn't they?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that's all right because they had a million better things. All right, before we wrap things up, a couple of Easter eggs. Here's something. Mm-hmm. There's two names that are mentioned when they're searching through the computer. One is James. There's three names.
That's a Computeron, James.
Computeron, sorry. James Alexander is a VFX producer in Marvel, and James Gadd works on post-production in Marvel as well. So there you go, a few little things here. We've got some couple of fan theories here. You ready for this?
Yes.
For Fair says, I feel like Pietro is a sword plant from the way he's been interrogating Wanda. So yeah, what do you think about that?
I don't think he is because...
They have trouble getting people in.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think he might be. I think he's probably a plant.
For some,
yeah.
and I think maybe you're right in that it could be Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange can't get in, but he can send in...
It could just be Doctor Strange also.
Could just be Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Or Wong.
Could be Wong. I'd be great if it was Wong.
Yeah, it would be good. Yeah.
MVP.
That's right.
This whole bloody shit, all these shenanigans.
Exactly.
And we brought all those guys in at the end of Endgame.
Yeah.
They wanted more. They wanted more guys, but he brought every guy.
He brought every guy. That's a big deal. And Rudy says, Darcy said Monica's DNA has been altered after leaving the Hex. Is this how we get mutants?
Oh.
Because, of course, we know that Wanda's character in the comics is, like, exclusively tied to mutants. She's been a mutant and not a mutant. She got rid of the mutants. Did she bring back mutants?
Maybe.
I can't remember. The comics,
she either definitively said no more
No,
mutants.
she definitely did
or
that.
Heaps of mutants.
Heaps more mutants, please. Give me 100.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
make it 1,000, she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think?
I mean, that's possible. You could very well say that everybody, once the you could, I guess, say once this barrier comes down that everybody who leaves, gains some mutant abilities. But that, I guess, the problem with that is that it makes it impossible for certain mutants to have certain origins. Like Magneto couldn't have his, and that's her father.
Yeah.
In a lot of realities, couldn't have his origin in World War II, for example.
Yeah.
But maybe the barrier collapses and it shoots energy all the way through space and time.
Shoots energy, you say?
Yeah.
Has that ever been done in a comic book movie before?
First time for everything.
Wow.
Also, this is a TV series, James.
Oh, yeah.
The
It's
normal
different.
rules don't apply.
That's very true, isn't it? Wait a minute, just quickly.
Yes.
If there's 3 episodes left,
Yes.
we're running out of eras. So the last few weeks are just going to be like outside of sitcoms, aren't they?
Could be. Or future sitcoms.
Future sitcoms.
The Jetsons.
The Jetsons. What's that? What else in the future? Dinosaurs. No, that was the past. Cyclical, maybe. I don't know.
Dino Riders? No, that was in
Maybe.
the past, but it was future technology. I think they fell through a time portal.
Terra Nova. No, that was also dinosaurs in the past with future technology.
Futurama.
Yes. Future.
Farscape? Dark Angel.
Future, I think also. Maybe the year 2010. I don't remember.
Okay.
So I think, though, that this is kind of the calm before the storm. Next week, we're going to get a lot of answers. Hopefully, we're going to see that person who's this person that we've been gearing up for, the secret cameo. Who is it? Is it a Reed
We'll
Richards?
never tell.
Because we don't know. We literally don't know.
That's right.
But yeah.
Because they filmed with both of us and they didn't say which one they were going to use.
They didn't.
So could be either
And
one.
we just also forgot.
We forgot as well.
It's good, though. It's still good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you think it'll be good next week?
Yeah, I reckon.
I mean, if they send us more chocolates, maybe we'll say it's good next week as well.
That's right. Prior episodes, we only said it was good on the promise of chocolate. And this episode, we're saying it's very good because we got that chocolate.
But keep them coming.
Keep them chockies coming.
Yeah,
folks.
exactly. Thanks for watching this, though. We really appreciate it. And thank you again to Collings for getting this amazing edit out. How does he do it, Mason?
Don't know. We're going to send him some chocky, though.
We're going to have to.
We're going to send him that smashed up heart. Big box of chockies.
But yeah, we'll obviously be back next week for the next episode. But we also have a podcast called The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows that comes out every Monday. If you like comic book movies and movies in general and comic books and television shows, we do that, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like most of the entertainment that is currently released in the world.
That's right.
We talk about it.
That's right. As mentioned, though, the big sandwich that when you sign up for, it's not just early episodes of this. There's early episodes of Caravan of Garbage. We're doing the Chris Reeves Superman movies at the moment.
There's bonus podcasts that come out right on time.
That's right. We've just done a Thor commentary for Thor 1 as well as a bunch of other commentaries there if you do want to check them out. We do a time capsule one where we talk about a particular year in pop culture and another one where we ridicule clickbait articles, don't we, Mason?
Clickbait articles that are always doing rampant speculation about TV shows that are coming out.
We give them a rinse.
We sure do.
We're completely, with no retrospect.
No, that's right. Yeah. We've got no self-awareness at all. Those idiots watching a show, a popular show, comic book show, thinking about it, talking about it, idiots.
Imagine thinking or talking about a thing ever.
Ugh.
That's nerd stuff, and I won't
right.
have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for watching this. We really appreciate it. And goodbye.
And
goodbye.
grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
My God, Mason, things are heating up maybe.
Heating up. Let's eat more chocky.
I agree.